Welcome back and welcome to Beijing. We have been here for a little over 12 hours and my God, do we have a lot to say about this place already. Where do we even begin?
Probably the weather for a start, because we just came from Shanghai, which was about 23 degrees during the day. It was really warm and really pleasant. Coming up north, it has dropped to about 13 degrees maximum, and it's going to drop to -1, I believe. So it already feels different. It's cold, it's crispy. I personally quite like it.
Yeah, the jackets and coats are well and truly out. Last night when we got in, it was actually really foggy. I'm hoping that it's not the pollution, but whatever it was, today it has completely cleared up and it's glorious sunshine. And a few things that we've already noticed about Beijing, different to Shanghai. Shanghai was absolutely lovely. It's really modern. The skyline especially really impressive. It just didn't blow us away that much. As soon as we got in here, suddenly we feel like we're really in China. And speaking of which, the area that we're in, that our hotel is in, feels really local. It's central enough, but not so central that it's touristy. Feels really residential. I think we stick out quite a bit in this part of Beijing especially. And our hotel itself is really lovely. We're going to show you that tomorrow morning. In the meantime, we're going to go get some breakfast because Beijing is known for its incredible breakfast, and it's just up here on the left, hopefully. This does not look like a street that would have a well-known chain restaurant on it, or any restaurant for that matter. Oh, I stand corrected. It appears to be right here. Now I just need to discern which one is which because there's no English on any of them. Yes, there is. Qingfeng, here we go.
Yeah, steamed stuffed bun shop. Let's go.
12 seconds later.
Wah. No vegan options for us, even though in my research it was definitely available in that chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to try another one in a different part of the city, and fingers crossed, let's get on the subway. Interestingly, I believe Beijing just became the first and only city in China where you can now use your foreign bank cards, like your MasterCard, your Visas, to actually tap in on the train like we do in the UK. So obviously you're still going to need your Alipay and WeChat for other things, but at least you can get off the plane and get straight on a metro without having to worry about that. Alright, we're in the Wangfujing part of the city now, which to be honest we were planning to come to anyway after breakfast. But let's try this branch of Qingfeng and see if we have any luck there.
I really like this street. It's given me such a good first impression so far. It feels so different to Shanghai where we've just come from. It's so wide and open. The sun is quite warm, but when we go down the back streets, it's quite chilly.
Yeah, it's a little bit nerdy, but one of the things I love about China is seeing all of the different car manufacturers that we just don't get back home. I think from my research, there's over 150 different car manufacturers in China. Something like 50 of them are joint ventures with other companies in other countries, but around 100 of them are pure Chinese car companies.
I noticed in Beijing they have the taxis, the yellow and blue and yellow and green, and the brand just says Beijing, so we've never seen those before.
One brand we do get in the UK, although you don't see them very often, is BYD. I never realised until we got to China that stands for Build Your Dreams. It's unusual branding. Okay, so for the first time in China, we're actually struggling a little bit in this particular chain of restaurants to find something that we can eat. So we're going to look for a little alternative. It's completely our fault because we don't speak Mandarin well enough to communicate that. The lady behind the counter was really helpful. She was using her translate, we were using our translate, but something was getting lost in between. So we're going to abandon that and look for something else. We always try to eat as locally and as traditionally as we possibly can, but sometimes that just doesn't go to plan when you don't eat meat, you don't eat egg, you don't eat dairy, but we're going to find something. On the bright side, we're in a much more popular, you could say more touristy part of the city, so we should be able to find something. No problem.
A few minutes later.
Yes, finally, the plant-based gods have smiled upon us. Oh, it's popular in here today. Lucky to get a table. Okay, this is a lot more than we bargained for. We did look up this restaurant and it is plant-based, everything's vegetarian, but it also happens to be Michelin starred. The menu is gigantic, and to be honest, it's a lot later than we planned to eat breakfast. Well, to be fair, it's actually lunch right now, so this is lunch.
I'm excited. This food looks amazing because I love it when they give you pictures so you can actually see what you're going to get.
And for Michelin star, it's really affordable, like really cheap.
You know that you're at a proper Chinese restaurant when you've got a lazy Susan.
Bring the tea to me. That's it. It's so effortless, so hot, so hot.
So the first dish to arrive is a plate full of vegetarian sausage. That is delicious. It's a nice level of salt. It's savoury, what you'd expect in a sausage, but vegetarian version.
Okay, not gonna lie, I've got no idea what I'm doing when it comes to eating this. I've got the rice in the bowl here. I've got the main dish here, which is, by the way, is Kung Pao chicken. Finally getting to try Kung Pao in China. And then we've got a tiny little dish here, but it feels like this is too small to mix the two together. So I'm just gonna freestyle it and see what happens. Let's take a little bit of rice, bit of chicken. Yeah, that kind of works. All right, let's go. That is 10 times better than what we have it at home. So good. I can't say I'm surprised. Like, if it's gonna be good anyway, it's gonna be good in China. But I didn't expect the vegetarian version to be that good, and it really, really is. Okay, so this is what we were really after today. These are called baozi, which are basically steamed, stuffed buns. And we heard that these were really, really popular for breakfast in Beijing. We've got some kind of filling, not entirely sure what it is. It said on it, preserved vegetable, which looks like, I wish I could tell you. It looks like cabbage, maybe some mushroom. Yeah, I have no idea what's in that.
Is it nice?
It's delicious. Whatever it is, it's really good. The best part about it is always the bun itself, because it's so soft and fluffy. And as ever in true Adam Yaz style, we've ordered way too much. But it's in the name of science, it's in the name of curiosity, somewhat in the name of greed, and the last thing we've got is really interesting. On the menu, this is referred to as vegetarian meat pie, which looks kind of like a quesadilla, but a Chinese version. It's kind of like a soft doughy pancake on the outside, really, really hot, and on the inside it's like a savoury, meaty filling. Honestly, food is one of the greatest joys of travelling, but what isn't a joy is spending half of your trip in the hotel bathroom regretting every single bite of that mystery street food special. And then just when you think things can't get any worse, you realise you need a doctor, which is when the real horror show begins. Surprise medical bills! Not so fun. Well, we've partnered with Safety Wing because their Nomad insurance is perfect for people like us who are digital nomads. But even if you're someone who just books that one trip a year and somehow still ends up in the emergency room, this is for you. Their travel medical insurance is so simple and affordable, it works out to just a few dollars a day, which is a lot less than that stale airport sandwich which probably put you in the hospital in the first place. Now, obviously, no one plans to get ill or injured while traveling, but as we've learned over the last 3 years, things do and can happen. From being eaten alive by leeches in Sri Lanka to the infamous Bali belly. That was a dark, dark time we do not speak of. Having Safety Wing's travel medical insurance just gives us that extra peace of mind now. No stress, no financial panic, just safe in the knowledge that we are free to do what we love, which is explore, eat way too much food, and try not to get run over by scooters. So when you're planning your next adventure, check out Safety Wing's Nomad Insurance. I've popped a link in the description below for you. Your future self will thank you. Wow, we have just eaten enough food to last us throughout the winter. We weren't really paying attention to the pricing there because we were so hungry. We were just like, yeah, we'll have that, we'll have that, we'll have that. So when the bill came, it was a bit of a shock. Exactly.
Oh,
Turns
boy.
out 115 yuan for all of that food, including the drink.
Oh, and just to add, we could have had another 2 people join us.
Oh.
And we all would have been full, honestly.
Yeah.
We actually left some because we couldn't finish it. It was too much food. So yeah, it would have been like £3 a head.
Easily.
For Michelin star. Insane.
So Tiananmen Square is literally down this road, a few minutes away. We were desperate to go today, but unfortunately it turns out you actually need an appointment to go and visit it, which we've actually now got. You can do it through the WeChat app. It's really, really simple, really easy, really quick, but because we left it so late, they didn't have any appointments left for today. So we are going tomorrow. Likewise, with the Forbidden City, or what is now the Palace Museum, you also need tickets in advance. You can't just rock up and get your tickets and go on the day. That is booked up completely. And apparently the tickets for that go on sale 7 days in advance. So if you want to go see that, you have to book your ticket 7 days before you want to actually go. You can try the day before. Very unlikely that you're going to get the tickets. So unfortunately on this trip, we're not going to be able to go. In the meantime, we are heading to the Temple of Heaven. So just waiting for our Didi, our taxi, to arrive, and we'll get on the move. Okay, south gate of the Temple of Heaven. Are we going to get tickets and be allowed in?
It looks busy.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I don't know. Okay, correction. This was supposed to be the south gate. I did put that in the DD app to drop us there, but for some reason we're at the east one. Not sure how much of a difference that'll make, but at least we can try the other one if we don't get in here.
It should be 56 yuan for 2 package tickets in low season. Low season starts from the 1st of November, 31st of March. 56.
All right, we're in. Great success once again. So another thing about China, it feels like wherever you are in the country, or at least where we've been, all the entrance fees have been exactly the same, whether you're a local or whether you're a foreigner. Doesn't matter where you're from, the entrance fee appears to be the same for everyone.
Which is not the case in other countries that we've been to, and they charge about 5 to 10 times the amount, which has always been so crazy, so we definitely appreciate that. This place is basically smack bang in the centre of Beijing. You wouldn't believe it. It is so peaceful. There's so much greenery everywhere. A lot of tourists, but they are so chill that you can barely hear them. Everyone is so relaxed and calm. And this is just the walkway through the park up towards the Temple of Heaven. I cannot wait to see this place.
And nor can thousands of others by the looks of it. Yeesh, that's a lot of people.
I think we're used to it though by now.
Yeah, that peaceful bit didn't really last as long as I thought it would.
Everyone's just bunched.
It's kind of a theme that we're seeing in Chinese tourist attractions. There's a lot of people, which is fine. It's just not managed the best in terms of the number of people going in at a certain time. To tell you the truth, we don't even know what we're queuing up for. We just saw one and fancy joining it because we're British. Okay, all right, I see now. I see what the big queue is about. This is pretty epic.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That is stunning. Really, really stunning.
We are so lucky with the weather as well because it's got a beautiful baby blue backdrop and it makes the colours pop.
Okay, this is one of those things that, yes, it's very touristy, it's very, very popular. Again, it's popular for a reason. It's an icon of Beijing. Coming here is like going to London and not seeing...
Big Ben.
Yeah, that's even worse seeing, I suppose, yeah. This is something else though. So around the temple itself, you've got this pathway that you can follow. Apparently it's made all out of wood except for the tiles at the bottom, and the shape of it is supposed to symbolize that heaven is round and earth is square.
So the temple complex was constructed in 1406 to 1420, so it took 14 years to build and also makes it about 600 years old, which is crazy.
I think that was our first ever temple in China.
Yeah, and it was a really nice place to come to and to see the real cultural part of China. It's such a spectacular looking building as well. I'm so glad we saw it.
So the Temple of Heaven is not only in its own park, but there's also tons of other temples situated in the park itself. And if you take the entire area of the park, it's actually 4 times larger than the Forbidden City Palace, which is mind-blowing to think about because that's already huge. It is crazy how time gets away from you when you're exploring a new city, especially in the winter months. We were having lunch not that long ago and now it's completely dark at about 5:30 p.m. Where are you taking us?
So in our videos we like to show a bit of everything from the back roads to a bit more of the fancier nightlife. So right now we're heading to a place called Migas Mercado, I think it's pronounced, and apparently it's going to deliver good drinks, good views and good vibes. And I'm thirsty, so hopefully it does. Let's go check it out.
We're in a shopping mall, a very nice shopping mall, but a shopping mall nonetheless. It's kind of hard to believe that there's a rooftop bar at the top of this with a nice view. I don't think Yaz has ever let me down with her choice of rooftop bars, so I don't see any reason to believe that this will be different. There it is, Migas Mercado. Sounds very Chinese, doesn't it?
Okay, that was super easy to find. Now let's go and check out the deck. Whoa, this looks incredible. So we're on the 7th floor, I think, and look at this view. This is incredible. We've got all these beautiful skyscrapers, which I never thought I would say, but in China they always light them up and they look so pretty. Oh, this is a really nice place.
Well, you've done it yet again. Not a bad spot, not a bad spot at all. And it just goes to show that you don't need to be on the 25th, 30th floor to get a good view. It's also really sheltered from the wind. There's a roof above us, so sheltered from the rain as well. And just over there is the CCTV tower, that crazy looking tower. That actually stands for China Central Television. In the UK that would stand for closed circuit television, so like security cameras. but that is the national television broadcaster in China. And what a fitting building for it as well.
It's so cool. Now, it may not seem like it to you guys, but we have done a lot of steps today, thousands and thousands. There's nothing better than sitting down, taking the weight off your feet and having a lovely glass of wine, or in Adam's case, a refreshing bottle of beer, and taking in the Beijing views.
I can think of a few things, but yes, this is definitely up there with them, yeah, for sure.
Adam's just thinking about Formula One.
115 yuan for the 2 drinks, exactly the same price as our lunch earlier. To be expected though, with that view, totally worth it. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that. We've got a mini concert going on just outside the metro station here. Honestly, China is just the gift that keeps on giving. It's another beautiful morning in Beijing and welcome to our hotel room. Sadly, our last hotel room in China, but it's a great one. Now, when we arrived, we were actually upgraded to kind of like a duplex apartment. It had stairs, so the bedroom was separate. There was also a kitchen. Unfortunately, the air conditioning wasn't really working and the one window that it had didn't let much natural daylight in, so it was kind of dark, kind of hot. So we asked to be sort of downgraded back to what we booked originally, and it's absolutely amazing. Let me give you a tour of this place. So as soon as we step in, we've got this bright countertop with the sink. Every single room in this hotel, surprisingly, has its own washer and dryer, which is so handy. We've been so desperate to do the washing, so we've been making good use of that. There's also a massive mirror with loads of storage behind it. On the right here is the shower room, and then next to that is the toilet, automatic toilet with a heated seat, which is always nice, and automatic flushing as well. And then over here is the tea and coffee making station, fridge underneath that, more storage area here, and more storage area above with a mirror that is far too high for me to be able to see myself. Over here is the seating area with a desk and even more storage underneath here. There's way more storage in this room than we can even use. Wardrobe, we've got even more storage next to the bed here. Got our slippers that we haven't actually used yet, and believe it or not, even more storage underneath the bed. And then the bed itself is pretty big, and a window which lets in lots of natural daylight. And above Yaz right now is the projector, which we also haven't used yet. And another thing that we love that a few of the other hotels have had is the option to choose the amount of lighting that you want. So you can go from 100% to make it as bright as possible, down to 50%, 25, or turn it all completely off. And next to that are the controls for the curtains, which you can open and close with just a flick of a button, and a whole bunch of USB ports. They're actually all around the room. Now, we've said it before, we'll say it again, the value for money with hotels in China is next level. We paid for this 350 yuan per night, which is just under 40 pounds or 45 US dollars per night. The location is pretty good. It's not right in the center like I said yesterday, but it's good enough. And oh, there's a couple of really quirky things outside that I want to show you. So this hotel is wheelchair accessible, but look at the ramp that they've got here. I know the camera's not going to do it any justice, but that is the steepest ramp I have ever seen.
Go flying down there.
You'd have to be Evel Knievel to actually go down that in your wheelchair. And then in the entrance / parking lot of the hotel, you have this. It's basically the Venetian in Las Vegas. Oh, and one more thing, literally attached to our hotel is this market.
And in the afternoon, they shut their barriers and you would never know that it exists.
Yeah, because we arrived at night, it wasn't there. We came down the next morning, boom. So today we're really excited because we get to go to see the famous Tiananmen Square this evening at sunset for the lowering of the flag ceremony. Before that, we're going to go check out something else that Beijing is very well known for, which are Hutongs. I actually never heard of this before. Yaz told me about them. What are Hutongs, Yaz?
They're basically residential streets, so you can get really local ones where you'll just see how the locals live, but there are some that have been a bit more commercialized, so they've got bars, cafes. We're going to go down some of the most popular ones and maybe we'll see if we can find some super residential ones as well and compare them.
So it's November 3rd? 4th. November 4th today, and it seems like it's the first day that Luckin, our favourite coffee chain here, is doing the Christmas cups.
Yay! They're so cute. They look like Christmas jumpers. Christmas has officially arrived in China and I'm so here for it. We've got crisp blue skies, crisp weather and warm drinks.
and it's burning my hand. We're basically locals on the Beijing subway now. Only thing we haven't been doing is getting like a weekly pass because we are here for almost a week, so it would have made much more sense to get that. Probably save money, save time, so we didn't have to, you know, go to the machine every time, buy a ticket before we get on the subway. But even with that, it's still ludicrously cheap. It's like 40p every time we go on it.
40p.
In the UK, that would be, I don't know, £500 probably. So 30 minutes later, we have made it to...
Nanluoguxiang.
Ooh, that was good.
Was it good?
I think that was good. Was that good?
So Nanluoguxiang is actually one of the oldest and most popular hutong here in Beijing, and it's 740 years plus old. So from a bird's eye perspective, it actually looks like a fishbone. So you've got Nanluoguxiang that runs straight down the middle, and it's 787 meters long. Either side of that main road, you've got 8 different smaller hutongs that go off the side of it. It's not too narrow, it's like the perfect size to feel immersed. Just love it already. We've kind of only just got here.
I've already seen 5 things that I must eat.
Weird and wonderful things in China, number 652. Little pancake balls with party hats on. I have not seen anything so adorable in my whole damn life. They're having a party in a box. This place looks really cool. We're gonna have a look and see if we can find something to eat.
We found vegetable dumplings, finally.
Which surprisingly has been so challenging to find in China.
Look, it's the type that you love as well, the ones that are fried on all sides and nice and crispy. 28 yuan for this giant portion. I think we've got 10 of them, which is more than we can probably eat realistically. But yeah, let's go sit down and try them. We love the steamed dumplings, but every now and then it's nice to indulge in the really crispy fried ones like these.
I actually prefer these ones, can't lie. I like it when things are a bit, not burnt, but like they've got a crispy edge, like a bit of a bite rather than really soft.
And she's just poured a load of vinegar over them for us, so that's going to help give it a bit more tang as well.
Best dumplings I've had in China. So good. I really like the flavour in this one. I just love how they've been cooked with the crispy outer edge, and some parts of it are soft, then you've got the delicious flavouring inside. And the tanginess of the vinegar complements it perfectly. Good find, I'm glad we came in here.
So when we went to Wuhan, I absolutely fell in love with their signature dish over there, ren gan mian, which is hot dry noodles. I found some here in Beijing and they look really good, but also really, really different, very unusual looking. There's actually whole cloves of green garlic. Now, I'm not sure why it's green, whether it's been fermented or just coloured that way, but I'm kind of scared to eat a whole one of them, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna build up to it and try the noodles first. Wow. They look very different to the noodles in Wuhan. Okay, the taste is very different, but they're really, really good. More sour, a bit spicier, probably because I added chili to it, but still really, really nice. Maybe ren gan mian just means hot dry noodles. It doesn't necessarily mean where from. So maybe this is just Beijing's take, or this particular store's take on hot dry noodles. Okay, the green garlic. Never eaten a clove of garlic like this, ever. Or just a clove of garlic in general. It started off okay. Now it's very pungent, very sour. I actually don't mind it. It's kind of pickled, I think is what it is. Would I eat it like this regularly? No, but it adds a little something to the dish. That's not bad. Definitely prefer the one in Wuhan, but really not bad.
It's always risky wearing white in China whilst you're eating because the food is salsa. I'm going to give these noodles a try and see if I like them. I'm a lot more fussy than Adam is with food in general, so I actually really like that. That's really nice flavour. It's so different to the one in Wuhan because the one in Wuhan was very sesame based. This isn't at all. I love these kind of noodles where they're thick and chewy. Oh, how much chili sauce did you put on this, Adam?
One of my favourite things to do in places like this, and actually helps a little bit when you're ordering, is to Apple translate all of the signs in front of the food. Sometimes it translates it a little bit too literally, like the one I ordered the noodles from, which says, "The tip of the tongue is delicious and the aftertaste is endless." Which, to be fair, is somewhat accurate. The aftertaste is endless. I can feel it burning on my tongue. No way, do me a favour.
Fish and chips. British. Wow, I did not expect to be seeing that here.
Wiggly jiggly, that's a new one for sure. There is nothing you can't get here, whether it's fish and chips or pan cream, clothing.
I even just saw a pen carved into the shape of a chili pepper.
So all of these buildings that you see to the left of us, to the right of us, they were all here long before all the modern buildings and all of the skyscrapers of Beijing. And a lot of them actually get torn down around the city. But this is an example of one that's actually been preserved.
And we've been noticing the smaller hutongs that are coming off this main road. They're a lot narrower than this main road, but it's just so local. And we definitely have to go more down one just to see how different they are compared to the one like this that has been commercialized.
So wherever you go in China, you can find this snack, which is fruit on a stick covered in like a sugar glass, really crunchy, really good. But we've never tried the hawthorn version. We've only tried strawberry, grape, and a couple of others. So today I'm going to try hawthorn because it's quite a prominent flavor in China, a prominent fruit. Okay, 4 yuan, I believe, for 2 pieces of hawthorn. Yes, exactly that, 4 yuan, covered in sugar and sesame seeds. That is bizarre. It's like a really mushy apple. Has the flavor of apple, but a lot softer. But the crunchiness is coming from the sugar, which is good. If you didn't have that sweetness around the outside, it would be very, very sour. Kind of balances pretty well. I can't wait for you to try this.
Oh. You're right about that texture. That is so weird. There's a giant pip inside this in the middle. It's literally a mushy apple, but the flavor's really nice. I approve. Yazzie approves.
Again, that's not a fruit that we have in the UK, so really, really new to us. Very unusual. So we've just turned off that main hutong into one of these little offshoots, and immediately it's so much quieter, so much more rustic, and more residential, of course, as well.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of the more bizarre things I've ever seen. It's just a ball pit on top of a bright blue box inside a gift box, a clear gift box, in the middle of the street.
We've pretty much only seen cities in China, and so therefore we don't really get to see the ground level local apartments and houses. It's only been tower blocks of homes. So it's really nice to see the actual smaller apartments on ground level, the back streets.
This kind of says a lot about how narrow this street is. This guy is actively protecting his car from people knocking into it. All of these delivery drivers that are going up and down this road. Wow, it must be an actual problem here. Most of these cars along the side of the road have some kind of protection on them. Look, there's a big bike coming up behind me now. Some of these guys are really, really funny. They see tourists, some of them holding their phones or a camera, and then they'll just go ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, try to get us out of the way quicker. And of course, the narrow streets come with some very creative parking solutions as well. Nothing to see here, just an American muscle car parked up on a tiny street in China.
Oh, this road is beautiful.
This place is so massive. It's like a giant maze. You come out of one hutong straight into another, and they all have like a slightly different character about them. And these are not the only hutongs that you can see. They are spread out around China, other parts of Beijing even. We just decided to come to the ones in the northern part of the city, and now we're going to be heading south towards Tiananmen Square. Okay, here we are, Tiananmen Square. We made it just in time for sunset and the lowering of the flag. My God, security is tight here, as you would imagine. You are not getting anywhere near this place without an appointment, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the biggest pat down, like the most thorough pat down I've ever had in China so far. But it's all for a good reason. But this place is crazy. It's so spacious.
This place is 500 meters by 880 meters, I think it is. One of the biggest public squares on the planet, if not the biggest. It feels really spacious. There's a ton of people in front of us.
Look at this sunset, by the way. That is so beautiful.
I have to say, I've seen this place on the news a few times, seen it on TV. Never thought I would actually be standing in it IRL. Nuts. This is also officially the most number of cameras I've ever seen in one public place in China. I thought there were a lot in Chengdu, in Chongqing, but every single lamppost here has a ton of cameras covering them. So every single angle here is covered, every single square foot is covered. That's what you would expect in such an important historical place in this country. And just as I said that, one of the policemen behind us approached and asked us if this was a live broadcast using this camera. Of course it's not, but they just want to make sure, obviously. But honestly, one of the only times in China where I've expected there to be a ton of people and actually been far fewer than I imagined.
There's only about 4 rows of people at the front, and then everyone else is just scattered around, so it's really actually quite quiet, which is really nice.
There is also, of course, a flag raising ceremony at sunrise, which is around, I don't know, 6 a.m, 5:30 even at this point of the year. And yeah, we're just not the best at waking up for that right now with our itinerary. It's 5:03, so expecting that flag to descend any minute now. Not sure what happens beyond that though. and the soldiers go back into the Forbidden City in formation. Well, that was really, really something, and not something a lot of Westerners see either.
Yeah.
We are the only ones here, without doubt, the only ones.
So happy that we saw that. That was so cool, honestly. If you come to China, definitely do it, either sunrise or sunset. Honestly, China continues to blow me away. If you had asked me what I thought Beijing would be like, you know, a year ago, even less than that, it would not be this. In fact, it would be the complete opposite to what this is. I can't believe how spacious the roads are, how spotless the roads are.
We really liked Wang Fujing Street, the actual pedestrian street, the main one of Beijing. This one is even better. Got some character to it, got tram lines that run straight through the middle of it. I don't know if there are actually...
Better check our backs.
Yeah, live trams on here or not. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it has all the big expensive brands. It's just more independent Chinese shops. Not a single letter of English to be seen, except for maybe one up there. Honestly, we could walk through these lanes for hours on end, but we hungry again, and we found another place that looks like an absolute gem online, so we're gonna go and find out if it really lives up to it. Welcome to vegetarian heaven, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it does exist, believe it or not, and it's on Tiananmen Square, this street in Beijing. So here's the lowdown. All you can eat buffet, 130 different dishes to choose from for 79 yuan. $10 for all you can eat, including drinks, including dessert, including hot pot if you want it.
So to get the very most of your money, you want to come here hungry. There's so much food to choose from. I have just filled up 2 plates of food. Might even go back for more, we'll see. Definitely gonna go get dessert after as well, and I actually need to go and get a drink, so I haven't got one of those yet. We've got a full fridge of all of the cutleries, the chopsticks, the plates, the bowls, everything. I'm so excited right now, and I'm so hungry. And guys, this is not just a buffet of vegetables. This is the most beautiful looking mock meat. You've got sweet and sour, you've got meatballs, sausage. There's such a huge variety, and making us vegans happy.
I love a food challenge. I can put away a lot of food, but even for me, there is more to choose from here than I could get through in 5-6 years.
So on this plate, I have got myself some Singapore fried rice, which is delicious because I've just had a bite. We have a dumpling, some burnt meatballs, which they call it, and some, this one didn't have a label, but I think it might be like a sweet and sour mock chicken or something like that. And then on this plate, I have got, look at this, a sausage on a stick, 2 of those, meat on a stick, a bowl of kimchi, how cute is that? And a few blocks of tofu, and I poured some sauce over it. It looked like chili sauce, but I've not tasted it, so I'm not sure if I like it, but it looked nice. So that is what I've got for now, and I will definitely be getting more, I think. I think you get greedy when it's a buffet, or you can eat, you just want to eat everything.
And even that there, if I had to guesstimate, is about 1% of what is on offer in this restaurant. We had Kung Pao yesterday. Here's some sweet and sour. Oh my god, that is so good. That is so good. Maybe it's because we haven't had it for a while, but my word. There's a really high turnover here because it's really popular, so they're constantly refreshing the food. The rice is being refreshed, all of the vegetables are being refreshed, everything. And every dish is on its own hot plate as well. Every single table has got these hot pot burners, so you can order your broth and then just go load up on all the different toppings. All of this for 79 yuan. It's just a little bit too hot for hot pot right now, I would say. It's very warm in here.
1 plate down and on to the next. I can't wait to try this sausage because it looks amazing. Whoa, it's got like a hot dog flavour, and the texture is actually really nice.
Sorry, just one question. Who gets corn at an all-you-can-eat buffet?
Do you know what? As soon as I bit into that, instant regret.
Also, this is a bit of a random one, but we're both big fans of kimchi. Their one is insanely good. I've never had one that saucy before, but it's the perfect level of spice, perfect acidity, just so good. Okay, I've had 2 massive plates and I am officially defeated, but I'm not leaving here until I've tried some of their dessert. Chocolate cake with some coconut cream. Can I move here? Unbelievable, just moist, sweet, decadent, everything you want in a cake.
I have a plate of a few bits here. I have the same cake as Adam, I believe. Oh wow, It's like a blueberry kind of jam on the top, but it's really sweet, really soft cream, and a chocolate sponge cake. Oh, it's beautiful. I got these, which are just called rice balls, so a ball of rice. That tastes like sugar puffs out of the cereal box. That's exactly what that tastes like. It's really nice. Now I picked up this pot of what looks like pink putty. It smells like coconut. It looks beautiful. I'm assuming it's just going to be like a coconut jelly. So slippery. It's literally got the exact same texture as jelly, but it's got a beautiful coconut flavour. It's really, really nice.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to say it. One of the top 5 meals we've ever had, not just in China, but in Asia. Agree?
Oh, yeah, I do actually agree. And that is a big statement because we've had a lot of amazing meals in Asia.
And Beijing, one of the top 5 cities we've ever visited,
Yeah,
for sure.
Incredible.
And thank you so much for visiting it with us. YouTube thinks you're gonna love this video, so give it a click and we'll see you over there, okay? Bye-bye. On today's episode of Bizarre and Wonderful Things in China, you can do your business in the toilet, take 3 steps, and get on the metro.